I find it kind of ironic how my computer doesn't want me to run this channel. Obviously, I come back for one day to record, turn on my monitor, um, press the record button, then it goes orange. My keyboard's numlock won't turn on. So yeah, this thing just hates me. Alright guys, what's going on? This is my new scripting tutorial. I'm not going to be doing any more content on this channel, but just so we're clear, this video does not work. I don't know why. It's very weird. And then I sent a link to this video, which has, has a little bit less views, but it's a lot more informative. I spent a lot of time typing it out, but instead I'm just going to start using an audio recording for this. Let's see. This, I might want to look up some of the stuff that I'm about to show, but I was kind of hoping to follow some of my basic stuff here, but I can teach you guys on the fly. It doesn't matter. It's not any more difficult. So the first thing you're going to need to do is find your start button. I'm using the newest version of Windows 8, so it does work. So I'm going to press this, open up Roblox Studio. If you don't have this, go download it, look it up on the web, then just download it. It's on the Roblox website. You can, after you download the game, it'll come with this. Then just start it up. Then just go over here, go to roblox.com, create the a new place, or press Control N. You're going to want to search for this button or just click File, New. They're both here, and yeah, I'm just going to press Control N quickly, and I'm going to create a place. I'm just going to assume you know how to use Roblox Studio basically, just like basic selections and stuff like that, like using these things, these very important tools to select objects in the Explorer tab here. But the point is, we're going to get right into the scripting portion. The last video I uploaded was not updated, so I'm going to go over here to Basic Objects, click here Script, then it will insert itself into Workspace. If it didn't, then delete the script wherever it was placed, click Workspace, and then double click the script. It'll create a new script, and hopefully with your version of Roblox you'll be able to have it open automatically. If you do not see any of these windows that I have open, which are labeled on the top of them, and in these tabs here, just click View, and all of them will be available under this menu, and you could just open any one of them that you want. What you're also going to want to do is go under Toolbars, and then make sure that this Command button is enabled. If this isn't enabled, then you're not going to be able to script very well, because you're going to need to do a lot of the scripting on the fly. So yeah. So the first thing you're going to want to do after you create the script is just simply make a part here, place it right here. Then I'm just going to quickly scale this into a door. Going to be modifying some properties. You're going to make sure your properties window is open. I'm just going to do this right now. I'll explain it later. Make sure the anchored is on. Make sure the form factor is symmetric, or just make sure the block is symmetrical, aka just make it to the size of a basic door. And what we're going to hope to achieve in this tutorial is to make a green door, brick color, double click on this color, and then click on this button if this palette doesn't show up, and then just click any color. I'm going to pick green. I'm going to click this surface tool right here, and I'm going to click this surface on the block with my cursor so that the top part is smooth. So now I am going to use my resize tool. I always keep it on the resize tool because it's easiest to move around the block and resize it if you need to make any quick changes. So what you're going to need to do is take your script. You don't need to click it first. Click and drag your script into the part. Make sure this is not the base plate, or you're going to get your parents mixed up. I will explain that later on. So if you don't know anything about computer programming, then this is going to be hard to follow, but I'll try to explain it to the best of my ability. So the first thing you're going to want to do is realize that this is not math. It is heavily based on math, but it is not. You do not need let x represent this block. That won't work. This will never work, and this just adds a layer of redundancy to scripting. So instead of all of this, we're going to type local x, and x is going to be a Boolean value, which is basically a 0 or a 1 in binary. This is false, but it can also be true. It can be either one of them. So make sure that this line is not underlined in red. If it's underlined in red, then you have a problem that you need to fix. This local word does not need to be here. You could just simply have x equals false. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to make sure that everything in this script is localized and nothing else in the game can access it, since this script is a self-contained script. So x equals false means that the door is closed. And I'm going to create another variable here. I'm going to create debounce equals false. This green text here is ignored when the script is ran, so the green text is not read as a part of the script, so you can just write anything you want in it, and it will completely ignore it for the rest of the line. But the point is, this is going to be the whether or not the door is affected on touch. This is going to be important because we don't want the door to continuously open once we touch it when it's already opened. Otherwise, it's going to close a bunch of times and it's going to create a lot of problems. So just I'm going to create a very simple script here. Just follow along and I'll explain it on the way. Script.Parent.Touched, and then a colon here, make sure it's a colon, connect, so that it creates a function to, we're going to have a function in a bracket, and then we're going to create an open and close bracket here, just for now, and then we're going to have here the word end, and then another closed bracket, so that it closes this one over here. And so yeah. By the way, if you can't see any of the writing, please switch up to 720p. This is not very hard to read, especially in 360. Make sure to adjust your quality accordingly. But the point is, you put the word hit in here, because the hit is going to be the part that touched the door. We haven't really named the door yet, but we can do that at any point. This doesn't matter if it gets touched and it's not the name of door, because it doesn't matter. Now the first thing you want to do to prevent this from breaking is by typing if not hit, then return end. This makes sure that if a part touches the door and immediately deletes, like a gun bullet, then it will not break the script, because then hit will not be an actual object and it will mess with the script. So the second line here is if debounce, then return end. This will make sure that if the door is opened, then it will not open again if somebody touches the door. I will not be setting up a permission system for this door. You're going to have to look up how to make a VIP door. This is just for basic scripting. So basically, this is a case. So if this, by default, it checks if the variable here is equal to true. If you don't have this here, I'm just shortening the script as much as possible. And then if it is true, then I will return and then end the block. The return stops the function where it is and decides not to go. And right here, I'm going to make sure that the debounce is going to be equal to true, so that if this door gets touched again immediately, then it will not open again. And I'm going to make sure that this part, which is also referred to as script.Parent, I will explain it now, because the script is right here. You can type the word script to represent this script, and if you enter .parent, you are referring to the object that is above the script, which is part here, which I'm going to quickly rename to door, just for the sake of this tutorial. You don't need to know how to do that. Script.Parent, which means it's the script's parent, and the script is the door's child. And you'll find out more about that later if you look up more tutorials. So what this is going to do is script.Parent, just follow along. I'll paste the code in the description if you need it. .Transparency equals 0.5. This makes sure that it's halfway through. You can also write this as a fraction by doing 5, then slash, and then 10. This is the fraction. This is what you put on top, and this is what you put on the bottom. This is also used as a division symbol, but for right now I'm just going to write 0.5 because it's shorter. Then script.Parent.CanCollide equals false. This will make sure that the person who touched the door can walk through it. And now I'm going to wait a certain amount of seconds. This call will wait whatever amount of seconds is inside this bracket before continuing the code. This does not work in most scripting languages, but just for this one it does. So what we're going to put inside these brackets is 1, or actually 2, because we want the door to be open for a little bit. And then what we're going to do is copy the lines from 8 and 9 and paste it. Then I'm going to erase the 0.5 here, and I'm going to select the word false and replace it with true, because false means 0 in binary and true means 1 in binary. So after this sets to CanCollide true, it will make itself visible again, and hopefully this should work. This is the simplest door script you can create as far as I'm concerned, unless you create a whole bunch of variables, which makes it a lot more difficult to understand. But the point is, let's test it. To test your game, you press F6. And here's my door here. It opens when I touch it. It seems that I've ran across a problem. So if you want to fix a problem that you have, you simply close the place right here. If it prompts you to save, you press no, and you go in the script. I know what the problem is because, yeah, then you copy this line as well. Then you erase the indentation and you paste the line. Then you replace the word true with false so that the door can be opened again. And that's it. So let's test. If you want to know how to test again, it's F6. And we have officially a working door script. So yeah, when this door closes, it will be able to open again.